I think everything was relatively smoothly. My wife primarily did most of the research. There was a couple programs that we looked into, but my wife had found this on the internet and then also spoke with a therapist as well. We also liked that it was isolated and also that there'd be other kids involved as well. We thought that would be helpful for my child. I thought it was really interesting because of the involvement that they have not only with my daughter, but also with the entire family. And it's interesting, as I always say, to have a good relationship with anybody, it's a two-way street. And so involving the family, especially the parents, when one is having a problem with their child, I think it's really important. And so I was really impressed with that. I thought the techniques and some of the things that we went into with the family sessions were very enlightening, definitely from my perspective. I think I walked away being a better parent as well from the program. So from that I really appreciate too, because my child had also gone through some individual therapy as well, but we never really had we had some involvement, but not as intense of an involvement here as well. So I really appreciated that with the program. At first it's a little awkward, quite frankly, because you're opening up to parents, quite frankly, that you have not met. So at first it's a little awkward, and I don't think anybody wants to divulge any type of potential dirty laundry they may have in their household. But I think after a period of time, I think one finds that everybody has the same issues within their households, and there was a lot of similarities that we had with other parents and frustrations that we had with other parents. And so I think from that standpoint, having the other parents there really does, it's a support group, quite frankly, and allows us to realize that as parents we're doing the best that we can, and we're not perfect. And you find that the other parents are not perfect as well, and so it's a nice support group. And my wife and I have, had some very good conversations with some of these folks, and we may even contact some of these folks after the program as well. But it's from that standpoint, it's been very, very good because, again, I think once you put aside your own inhibitions, I think you open yourself up a little bit more too, and realize that you're not perfect either, and you do the best you can. I would definitely recommend it, highly recommend it. I think for most parents, they don't want to admit that their child has a problem, especially if you're in a business environment, you take care of everything on a day-to-day basis. You don't ever want to, because that gives a sense of failure, but just the opposite. I think if you open yourself up and acknowledge that there could be benefit at the end of the road. So I would definitely recommend to other parents to explore it. And also there's a sense of guilt that a parent would have too, to sending a kid to a program like this, because what did I do wrong, and am I pushing my problems off to someone else, and are her problems really that bad to justify such an extreme, what you may consider extreme, to send your child away for as long as 45 days. So there's a lot of guilt that the parents would go through as well in that decision. But I think after you let your guard down and realize at the end that there could be true benefit for your child, because that's what it comes down to, is the benefit for your child. You want your child to be happy, secure in what they feel and who they are, and that they wind up becoming a very happy adult as well. And that's what all parents want for their kids. And again, I think that this program really helped in that regard. Like I said, once you let your guard down as a parent and open yourself up to other opportunities, I think you'll find that this really works out well. I think it's very nice. It's a nice home. It's well kept. We were very impressed when we walked in. It's a neighborhood, so it doesn't seem clinical by any means. we're very impressed with the facility. We like that it felt like a home. And I think it was more inviting for the child and more receptive to them than being more hospital-like, because that, I think, would be very difficult for a child. With the program here is that there's so much support from a therapy standpoint, and then also the staff and the nurses and everyone else here too, is everyone is engaged in your child. And also, it's not a canned program per se, that each and every child has their own issues, some more severe than others. And I think they really cater to each individual child, and that's at least the impression that I had, from witnessing that, and even with how each child is talked to and treated, and so on and so forth. And I think it's individual for each kid, because each kid is individual. Mm-hmm. I think over time, I think she, recognized that there's people here that really did care for her. She met some kids also inside of the program that I'm very confident she'll probably wind up maybe having relationships with outside the program as well, which I think is really healthy. I actually saw on a social network that some of the kids that have already graduated are friends on the social network, and to me, I think that's really important, because it's something for the kids to be able to relate to, and they've never been able to open up to, let alone their family, but anyone else, and this allows them to open themselves up to strangers at first, and all of a sudden, they know everything about that person. Yeah. So I think it's only natural that a relationship is going to occur afterward, and I think that's healthy. It's somebody else that they can lean on and understand their issues, because they know so much about that other person as well. Really impressed with the therapists, and I think the staff. I think from the nurses to the administrator here is lovely. Everybody is very caring, and they truly, truly care about the kids. And to me, that's the most important thing. I mean, you could see it. You can't pretend something like that. You can't pretend. And I think they truly have a love for these kids and a desire to help these kids out. And I see that. And I think that it's fantastic. That's fantastic.